Welcome to our first webinar on the Recast Academy. We're going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully everyone has had time to go ahead and join in. Before we get started, I got a few housekeeping items. We're using a new webinar software. You might have noticed this is a little different than the Zoom webinars we have done in the past. So you're going to be greeted by a different screen here. This is all in browser. If you have any questions during the presentation, you can put them in the Ask Questions section that you see on your screen there. I'll try my best to keep an eye on that and then answer those live. If we don't have time or I don't see them, we will also have a Q&A section specifically for that near the end. If you haven't already and would like to, you can go ahead and click the link to register for the Academy there in the box. And then also we have near the bottom, we have a very short 5-question survey that you can fill out at any time during the webinar or wait till the end of the webinar to complete. That helps us continue to bring you great products and content. Thank you so much. All right. So before we get too much farther here, I'm going to go ahead and introduce myself. Today, I am your host and presenter. My name is Chris Antoku. I am the Technical Enablement Manager here at Recast. Just under a year now. Before this, I actually worked as a config manager admin. And on my free time, I do enjoy reading and playing Frisbee golf. So we are going to get into a short agenda here before we get started. We're going to do a little introduction to Recast, and then we will do our introduction to the Academy. We will then get into some show and tell, and then we're going to have our Q&A section that I mentioned previously. And then after that, we are going to get into the rules about the giveaway. So to be sure, go ahead and stick around after the through the Q&A, so you do get to hear all the details about the giveaway. All right, well, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we're just going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the good old Recast. It would be remiss of me not to take this opportunity to tell you how great Recast and our products are. Many of you already know the majority of this, but some of this may be new. Just a little bit of background about Recast as a company. Starting from the creation of the community tools, our goal has always been to empower sysadmins and make their lives a little easier. We have over 1,000 companies using our paid tools across the globe that rely on us to help take some of the weight off their IT department's shoulders. With a 4.9 out of 5-star rating on Gartner and 96% renewal rate, our products speak for themselves, and the support we provide to our customers is second to none. Now here, you can see we have a nice quote from one of our customers. It just works. I don't see myself ever managing SCCM without it. Makes life so much simpler. And then here, you can see we have a wheel of products. This may be, some of you may recognize this because we also have a wheel of right-click tools for all of our right-click tools. This is a little different. This actually shows all of our products that we have. And some of you may be familiar with these, and some of you may not. We have a couple new ones that I'm proud to talk about. We won't get too deep in this webinar because that's not the purpose of this webinar, but I will say that they are absolutely great products, and I'm happy and proud to announce that they are part of now we have a product suite, so to say. And so here you can see that the right-click tools and endpoint insights fall under our systems management portion here. Our shift left falls under the service desk enablement, and then our 2 new products, first one being Privilege Manager, falls under the Zero Trust and in that PAM space. And then Application Manager is part of our third-party patching space. And so these are great offerings that we have and part of that we can offer to you as customers. A little bit more about those products here. So you can see here that we have each of these products listed out here, and then each of their kind of differentiating features listed down below. And so I'm not going to get too into these like I mentioned, but I will give you the brief synopsis of each. So right-click tools helps to reduce overall enterprise risk, ensuring compliance of encryption, privilege access, software updates, and more. Endpoint Insights gives you access to critical endpoint data not available natively in Config Manager or other ITSMs. Shift Left helps make your help desk even more helpful by securely and safely giving them the power to act on common user and device issues. Now for our 2 newest offerings in our suite of products, Privilege Manager is a self-service to end users without compromising security. It enables tighter security policies for all devices and streamlined workflows. And then with Application Manager, you can take control of the entire life cycle of workstation applications, from installation to updates to uninstallation. Now, I've talked a lot about our products, and I hope you've got a little bit of an overview about what they do. If you do have any questions or would like to learn more about our products, there is a portion in the survey, the last question, if you would like to know more, and you can absolutely fill that out, and we will reach back out to you. All right, now for the part here that this webinar is based off of, we're going to talk about our Recast Academy. It's time to introduce you to the Recast Academy. So you might be asking yourself, well, how did this come to be? Well, long story short, we identified that while our products like right-click tools are widely known and used throughout the community, generally we would have a single champion that would introduce the tools to their organization. Sometimes they would leave to go to another company, or possibly there would be others on the team that weren't familiar with the tool set. Well, instead of just putting everyone back through onboarding, we decided to come up with a solution that offered a more structured learning path. So after doing our due diligence and partnering with another company that offered us a great learning management system and an excellent support to get us started, fast forward 8 months and a few solid courses, we beta launched with some volunteers from our customers. This feedback was largely positive, with much excitement on what is to come. So at the start of this year, we did our official launch, and that brings us to now, with just shy of 80 registrations in the first month of 2023. Well, I've rambled enough. Time to actually show you what the Academy looks like. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, so bear with me while I get that changed out. All right. That share should be coming through here shortly. I do believe that is working. So here you can see that this is, I'm just going to show you briefly a couple ways to access the Academy before we go ahead and get into what it looks like. So here you can see we're greeted at our nice little Recast software homepage. We've added a section under our resources tab here called the Recast Academy. And this will open a new page that will allow you to sign into the Academy. And then our other way is in our doc site. Some of you are familiar with our doc site. Under corresponding docs or anything that has to do with some of the courses that we are putting out, we have the ability to sign up for these courses. And this link here will lead to the sign up page, which looks like this. And this here, you can create an account. This is where you go to register. And then after you've registered, this is our sign-in page here. And so once you have signed in, this is what you would see if you were to click this Recast Academy here and then sign in. So let's go ahead and get us signed in here. All right. So this is the home page of the Recast Academy. We have a nice little graphic here with our Discover Catalog button in the middle and a nice little tag, empowering our customers with insightful training. Now, this home page has a featured courses here at the top, and these are going to change as new courses become available. For now, we have our 3 main courses that we launched with, Recast Dashboards, Recast Management Server, and Remote Software Center. And then these thumbnails here, you can see they have an approximation of how long the course is going to take. And that is going to be par for the course as we continue on making this. And then here you can see we have a little title here of what the course is, and then a little bit of a description. And then if you had started your course, this is going to show the status of that, what percentage you are into the course. And then if it's not started, and then of course you'll be able to view that course from here. Now, going down the page here, we have our Recast blog feed. This is hooked directly to our blog on our website. And this is a nice little carousel here where you can, zoom through to see our blog posts. And then if you're curious about reading more, you can go ahead and this will expand the page here, and you can, cycle down, read a little bit more if this is easier to read than that just small little version there. And then at any point, if you would like to actually go to that blog post, you can go ahead and click the article, and it will pull that article up here. There it is. All right, back into our academy here. Back into our academy, you can see we have our next tile. Here's our upcoming events. Now, this is going to show any events that we have set in the calendar, maybe webinars, if there's online training or in-person training. These are going to be anything that is upcoming. Now, I do have, this is our skill up with the Recast Academy that we're currently doing. And then I do have a test event here. I wasn't sure if that other one was going to show up still. But here you can see we have our skill up with Recast. And then if we wanted to, we could view this. And if there are multiple sessions, it'll show you there. But if we view this, I'll show you a little bit later what it looks like here. And then near the bottom, we have our commonly used terms. And this could grow as time goes on. These are just some terms that we use in the Academy or that we thought might be helpful for you to know. And these are just little boxes here that collapse and expand. And if we click on this, it'll give you a little bit of a description of what it is and definition. So that's going to be our home page. Now, if I cycle back up here, we can go ahead and see the dashboard. Now, this is what, when you originally sign in, this is what you're going to be greeted by. This page is going to be personalized towards you, the learner. And so this is going to be the learning paths or the courses that are going to be assigned to you. For now, this is the same for pretty much everyone. There is no learning paths currently. This is something we're working in. That is a work in progress, but I'm going to go through that here. So here you can see we're greeted by our learning path at the top. And then we have a nice little course progress here. We are going to be using this section here a little bit later. Not to give too much away, but it's very exciting. And I think we will be using, adding some sort of gamification to this just to make things fresh and add a little competitive spirit in there. So that being said, we now have below, these are going to be the courses that have been assigned to the learner themselves, and same as how they look over on the homepage. But this is going to be all the courses that have been assigned to the learner themselves. Now, if we get into our catalog, this is going to be all the courses that are available in the catalog, not necessarily courses that have been assigned to the learner themselves. There will also be other courses available in here for them to enroll in if they find that to be interesting. We will be adding new content as time goes on, and we're really excited about that. Now, to a big portion here, learning paths. This is not live right now. This is just for demonstrative purposes. But a learning path is going to be a grouping of courses. And then for us, this is the way we're using this, is we're using it for certification. This is something big that we've been working on, and we are working towards offering certifications in all our products. We're currently focusing on right-click tools right now. So for this purpose, the way that this is going to work is we're going to have a grouping of courses that you'll have to pass, and then an exam. And once you pass those courses and the exam, you'll be considered certified. You'll get a certification, and you'll be considered, in this case, right-click tool certified. And that's something that you'll be able to share on your socials, something to be proud about. We'd like it to be something that's a really amazing add-on for our customers. And then lastly here, we have our events tab. And like I mentioned earlier, this is going to actually show all of the events that currently we have available that are upcoming. And then if we were to view this, it'll just expand on it. It gives you what the registration link, what the link to either join or register. There is a register button here as well. And this here allows you to register within the Academy. And then we have a little short description. It does say this is an online event. If it was an in-person event, it would say that. And then if there are more sessions, they'll show up down here. All right. Lastly, we have a search here. If you're searching for a course or a keyword, you can put that in here and search. And then the last thing here is the ability to edit your profile. You can go ahead and pop into profile settings here, and you can change your email, change your display name. You have the ability here to upload a custom photo. So this is called a gravatar here. This is just the default. But if you would like to go ahead and change that to a custom photo of yourself, you can go ahead and do that. Absolutely. All right. That is the Academy. That is what we have so far, and I hope that that's going to be a great offering for everyone. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we'll pop back to our slides. All right. Now, like I mentioned before, we do have some courses that are upcoming here, and these are just a few of them that are on the roadmap. And this is the path to certification for right-click tools. And we have right-click tools, remote window security, right-click tool security tools, right-click tool user management, and then right-click tool device management. Now, that's not all that there's going to be as a part of this learning path, but those are the upcoming ones that we're going to be announcing right now. Now, as Recast as a whole, we also have some exciting webinars coming in this year. For Q1 here, we have our 5.0 release, and this is something that everyone's been working really hard on, and I know it's been a lot of work put into this, and it's going to be exciting for that release. And that's happening on February 28th. And then on March 30th, some of you may know, some of you may have been contacted, but one of the initiatives that we did last year was go ahead and push out a survey to 500 sysadmin. And thank you very much if you were one of the sysadmins that took the time to go through that. I heard that that was quite the lengthy survey. So thank you very much for that. But this is going to be the findings from that survey that we had put out. And so that's definitely going to be an interesting one there on March 30th. All right. Now we have our Q&A section. If anybody has any questions. I'm going to go through here and make sure that I didn't miss anything here. All right. So some of these questions that are coming in are a little bit more technical than what this webinar is, the purpose here is. So I am going to go ahead and make sure that we answer these. We'll reach out to you. So I have a question here from Matt Hazuda. Sorry if I mispronounced that here. Will right-click, they're coming in fast. Is there a charge to the Recast Academy? So this is going to be included this is going to be an offering for our enterprise customers. So if you already pay for right-click tools, endpoint insights, any of our products, this is going to be something available to you. I will say that there is the ability for anyone to go in and register and learn some things if that is something that interests you about our products. This recording is also being, this webinar is also being recorded. So that recording will be available after this. I'm not sure about the slide deck, but that would be included after if that's something that we're going to include. I have a question here from Alejandro. For the Academy courses, is there a specific order you need to get them? And currently, there is no specific order. You can take the ones that are available whenever and in any order. Once the learning path is set, those will have an order to them, but that's going to be more of a what we think is going to be best for you, not necessarily that they have to be done in that order. The courses were designed not to be, they don't have to be done in a single sitting. We know that everyone's lives are busy, and you may only have 5 minutes to sit there and complete some courses, or maybe only 3 minutes in between calls. And so they're designed to be done section at a time, and then always be able, they'll save your progress, and then you can come back to it at a later time. You don't have to finish it in one sitting. All right. I have a question. What is up next for the Academy? So like I mentioned before, we are working very hard on our certification path right now. We are solely focusing on right-click tools at this point, but we will be working towards certification, and that is something that you'll be able to share, like I mentioned. And honestly, it's something we're really excited about. The Academy is very new, and we'll be constantly adding new content, and as this matures. And then I have a question here. The courses will be seen into our enterprise account. I think what we're asking here is if you were to log into the portal, possibly, if those courses, that progress might be there. We are working on some integration right now that will tie contacts into Salesforce, into your enrollments into the Academy. So as this progresses, more of that integration will be available. Question here from Matthew. Is there a time frame on when the learning paths will be available? We are working hard on this. Like I said, this is one of those things that I can't, if everything goes accordingly, we're really shooting for a near beginning of Q2, I believe. So right after end of April, I believe, is when we're trying to shoot for. Patty, does the Academy have tools that allows you to learn more about features and functions available in your tools without doing the certification? For instance, just getting to know what the tool's abilities are. Absolutely. So just because the learning paths are available, certification is available, that does not mean that you as a learner are required to do that. There are going to be courses that will go over just tool sets, just specific things, parts of the tools, and you can just view those if you're curious about a very specific thing. And that can be used in that manner. Now, we encourage you to do the certification, but it's not a requirement. Bill is asking, the Academy credentials are different than the portal, correct? Currently, those credentials are different. We are working on some single sign-on, but we're not there yet. All right. Will there be more opportunities to win free Recast swag? Absolutely. As the Academy grows and matures, that is something that we like to offer and bring you back in. So that is something that we will be offering as time goes on. Not sure what that's going to look like, but definitely going to be a possibility here. And then what kind of candidates can we expect for the new courses? Now, like I mentioned before, it just really depends on how things go, but we're looking at 2 to 3 weeks for new courses is ideally how we're looking at things. All right, that looks like that might be it for questions specific to the Academy. I do see, like I mentioned before, there are some questions in here specific about our products. And so we will be we will reach back out to you for those specific questions. Another question, will there be any courses available for the new 5.0 version? That's something we're going to discuss internally, maybe something that we include. We're not sure at this point. All right, well, that's the Q&A, folks. Let's go ahead and talk about our giveaway, why everyone is really here. So this is a little different than the giveaways we've done in the past. This is going to be, we have a couple restrictions here. You would have to have attended this webinar and then also register for the Recast Academy before 11:59 Central Time on February 3rd. So the following week, I'm going to go ahead and pull a list, and I'll compare those lists, and then we're going to pull 4 random names out of that, and each will be given $100 credit to the Recast promotional store. All right, I had a couple more questions flood in here, and I'll answer them quickly here. Are the courses going to be the same as the current videos out there? No, there are going to be more courses available as time goes on. Those are just the 3 that we launched with. Damien, if we completed the courses during the beta, will they still be considered complete? Absolutely, they will. If they're not, then you can go ahead and reach out to me. We might have to do some magic on the back end, but thank you for helping us out there. So we'll make sure that if you did that, then you will get credit for that. Todd, if I participated in the beta for this, do you have to re-register? No, you do not. I will pull the list for all the history, so you do not have to re-register. You're already registered in the Academy. John, do you have to live in the US? I'm actually not sure about that, but I will have to, I think we have one of our individuals will, let me just see here. I don't want to say out of pocket here without knowing. No, you do not have to live in the US. Thank you, Courtney. All right. So looks like that might be it for the questions here. Once again, thank you very much for joining us on this webinar. Thank you for everything, being our customers. Last little bit here, if you haven't already, there is that 5-question survey. Go ahead and fill that out if you have the chance. Thank you very much, and it's been a pleasure. We'll see you later.